is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Your heart beats for generations.
Your heart is so many things. It beats all the time, and it works very hard to keep you moving through your day, keeping your thoughts clear. It's the most important organ in your body.
Every beat of your heart tells a story of love, resilience, and hope. Taking care of your heart means creating more moments with the ones you cherish. Learn more at hennepin.us/heart-beats. That's hennepin.us/heart-beats.
Activism in the 21st century takes many forms. For Minnesota Chippewa artist Rory Wakeham, it's Funktivism. He uses humor, satire, and regalia to challenge social and environmental injustice. Smart Wars is Wakeham latest solo exhibition. It's a bold mix of Indigenous heritage with modern commentary. Through his multimedia art, Wakeham challenges perceptions and sparks conversations about Native resilience, climate action, and truth-telling. See Smart Wars at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis, February 27th through April 5th. Details at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Everyone knows I love Rudy Luther Toyota, but do you know who else loves Toyotas? Consumer Reports. They're out with their best of 2025 auto issue, and once again, it reads Toyota, Toyota, Toyota. Of the new 2025 models, Consumer Reports recommends the Prius, Corolla, Corolla Hybrid, the Camry, the Sienna, the Corolla Cross Hybrid, the RAV4, the RAV4 Hybrid, the Highlander, and the Highlander Hybrid. In almost every class, you'll find a Toyota. Find one for yourself at Rudy Luther Toyota, the southeast corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 51, then Friday, sunshine with a high of 76. The music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be Indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dick. This portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
Yes, we are awake, and it is good stuff there. Hey, full moon ceremonies tonight for our Native women and those who identify as female. Native American Community Clinic in Minneapolis and AIFC in Afton, East St. Paul. So, Haley, where is that exactly? I know you go to it at times, and it's in the East St. Paul area.
Yeah, for sure. So we got full moon ceremonies going on tonight. The East St. Paul one with the American Indian Family Center happens at the Bellwin Conservancy Savannah Center, which is in Afton, Minnesota. It's not too far from East St. Paul. But that address is 795 Indian Trail South in Afton. And what a full moon ceremony is just kind of time for us relatives who receive our menstrual or moon cycles. You could also be a female in menopause. We also include our two-spirit and trans relatives as well. But it's just a time to connect with Grandmother Moon and honoring our cycles as women and how they kind of sync up with the phases of the moon too in that 28th cycle. So that's important. It's always good to partake in those. If you're a woman, come check that out. I know Native American Community Clinic also puts one on in the Minneapolis area, and I want to say that'll be at the Little Earth Gym in Minneapolis, 2501 Cedar Avenue at 7:30 tonight. That one's going to start in Minneapolis. The American Indian Family Centers starts in Afton at 5 o'clock, so a little bit earlier. And then if you're going with the Family Center in Afton, it is a potluck, so bring what you can. You also want to wear a ceremonial skirt, like a ribbon skirt. Bring a copper cup, small bowl and spoon, a hair bundle if you want. It's a good time. And then 5 again too in Afton.
Wow, that's very cool. Native Americans called the last full moon of the winter the worm moon. And do you know anything about that? The worm trails? I suppose worms are starting to activate at this time of the year. Is that a fair assumption?
I think so. Yeah, like worms coming out like as the snow melts and stuff, and definitely has to do with like sugar bushing too. So I know Native Americans called that the worm moon in March because of the worms that would appear in the newly thawed ground. Other names, I guess, that they call the March moon is like the chaste moon or the death moon. Also the sap moon, after the tapping of the maple trees, which we call sugar bushing.
Well, I wonder what Chashke means, because I know a Chashke, and
I don't know. It has a T
he's
in it.
Lakota, and that's cool. And I've met other Chashkes. That's crazy. So I'd have to text one of my friends that are fluent. Oh,
yeah, if it had a K in it instead of a T, for sure.
Oh.
But it's also the lunar eclipse today. So a lunar eclipse kind of gives us a view on Earth of that red glowing kind of blood moon. So beginning tonight, Thursday, and then into tomorrow morning, the Earth is going to pass between the sun and the moon. And that's kind of what results in that phenomena of like the red blood moon. And then also, it's been 3 years since we had our last total lunar eclipse, and we won't have one until 2026. So if you're able to check that out tonight, definitely go outside and spend some time with Mother Nature and see that beautiful moon.
Yeah, good call there. And I know the moon affects people in different ways, and also blood moon. I remember being told years ago about the blood moon being dealing with battles and the blood of people in battles, and real interesting about that. Hey, there's our friend Robert Lilligren. Hey, how's it going, Robert?
Yeah, bonjour Haley, bonjour Robert. It's going great. How's it going with you?
Hanging in there. It's good to see the Democrats fighting back, and I'm enjoying this a little more than I was maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, agree. And you've been active too, right? You were at the state capitol. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, I've been up there a couple times. One was talking about education, and the other time was, I guess it was yesterday. I was trying to ask Haley, and she said it was yesterday, and I thought it was like a few days ago. So, being a little busy here and head spinning and not sure what's going on, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, and that was for the rice. There were things being ended up being the Republicans ended up chairing a lot of things or tabling a lot of things, which was really interesting strategy. But that was supposed to be up for discussion, and so we'll see what's going on. But great news since last time I talked to you. It's a tie now in the House, and now we can be an equal partner with the Republicans.
Right. So folks don't follow Minnesota state politics. We have a very divided state legislature, both the Senate and the House. And so there's been a lot of kind of weird missteps and things. And there was a Democratic House member who won his election, but then was disqualified by a judge for not meeting the residency requirements. So there was a special election. So during the interim, while we're waiting for the special election, there was a 1-seat lead by Republicans in our House. And man, they tried to take full advantage of that. Power sharing went out the window for a while. Now they're back to a dead tie, 67-67. So they'll need to come up with some power sharing formula.
One of the things that I've noticed too, that the Republicans have been attacking the governor because in 2 years or a year from now, we're going to be in a deficit, but partially because of why we're going to be in a deficit of what's happening federally, and really have to call that out because I feel like, again, the news is not doing us well and only playing one side and not really calling people on BS.
Right. And, there was already this deficit looming, and that's coming off of what was a surplus. And that's the ebb and flow of state budgeting. And then nobody really knows what the ultimate impact of the federal antics might be. And with those resources getting cut, and it's difficult, right? At the community level, a lot of the service nonprofits, we don't know where money's happening at our organization, Native American Community Development Institute. We're fortunate that we don't rely on federal funding, or at least not in any sort of significant way. But a lot of the Native service nonprofits do, and then all these whack things like with the EPA. We have this beautiful Indian Center in Minneapolis. It just went through a almost $35 million renovation, improvement, modernization. It's gorgeous. And a big chunk of what they had, their funding was federal, and some of it was from the EPA, like $3.5–4 million worth. And that money was allocated to them, spent, but now they can't get reimbursed for it. So some of these, surprises like that.
Hey, we're here with Robert Lilligren, President and CEO of Native American Community Development Institute in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis. And we love catching up with Robert. And we're going to talk a little bit, now that we've touched a little bit on the politics, we're going to talk a little bit what's going on at Native American Community Development Institute. There's a lot happening. So we'll be right back after this short message, Haley.
Stay with us.
Oh, wow. Hey, we did that together. Oh, wow.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
In a galaxy not so far away, the battle for truth rages on. Smart Wars is a solo exhibition by Rory Wakemup, a Minnesota Chippewa artist who flips the script on Star Wars using humor and regalia. Wakemup challenges colonial narratives and reclaims indigenous values of balance, resilience, and environmental activism. This exhibition runs February 27th through April 5th at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. More information at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Have you considered a career in the museum field? The Minnesota Historical Society is now accepting applications for its Native American Museum Fellowship. The 10-week summer program is a mix of workshops, seminars, and hands-on internships at the Minnesota Historical Society. It is open to undergraduate students, recent graduates, and community scholars with an interest in museums and heritage studies. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin. Native American Community Development Institute, or NACDI, in Minneapolis.
Hey, we're here with Robert Lilligren, President and CEO of Native American Community Development Institute here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis. And Haley, you've been perfect for 2 years, and I think I'm rubbing off on you.
That one.
People do that all the time, Haley, between Native American Community Clinic and Native American Community Development Institute. It happens.
You guys are doing something fun with Native American Community Clinic, right? Looking for some artists.
Oh, yeah. So Native American Community Clinic, a very important medical services provider here in the urban Indian community, and they are planning a new building. It's impressive. It's 6-story services and then housing above. Very impressive. And so they have worked with NACDI, our organization, and All My Relations Arts Director Angela Two Stars to help secure some Native artists to do art in association with the building and the design. And so we just posted the call for artists. You can find that at All My Relations Arts. And it's just a really good opportunity. And it's just one of a number of projects along the American Indian Cultural Corridor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we got things happening tonight, so I want to get with this before people get sick of listening to me. I want to get to make sure that we talk about this, the stuff that's happening. You guys are hosting a third listening session for the Four Sisters Medicine Garden tonight on March 13th, and that's going to be from 6 to 7. So hopefully you'll have your little transistor radio with yourselves. Wow.
Great. Yeah. So this is a great community event, listening session with community for our medicine garden. Four Sisters Food Sovereignty is sort of our umbrella food program. We have Four Sisters Farmers Market and the medicine garden. So 6 to 7 at the Dakota Lodge at Division of Indian Works, right on East Lake Street, 10th and East Lake Street, 10001. So people can stop in and and have their voices heard there. And then also at our urban farm, Four Sisters Urban Farm, we are boiling sap right now.
Yeah.
And we've, for the first time ever, tapped maple trees in the area. We have some partners like the Indian Ed at South High and Center School Youth and others. And so we're actually boiling sap right there at Four Sisters Farm on 29th Street and 17th about. So folks are welcome to stop on there as well.
Yeah, I just talked to after the showing last week. Haley and I were at the art gallery, and I ran into the person working with you that's doing work on the tree sapping this year.
Oh.
And it sounds really exciting.
Yeah, was that Gloria? I assume Gloria.
Yep.
Great. Yeah, she's our farm manager, and man, she was really driven to do this sap boiling and tapping the trees, and so she had to educate herself, and she had to connect with partners, so she had access to trees, and it's really a whole community effort, like almost everything that NACDI does, but lots of good partners, and it's exciting. And so I think she had 3 half pints maybe, or pints of syrup that they've been generated so far that have gone home with some of the partners, and more to come.
Well, I know I'm going to try and get Haley to tap some trees next year, right, Haley?
Oh, definitely. Someone sent me 2 today. I know Wild River State Park is going to be doing a maple syrup day on Saturday, April 5th from 11 to 3 p.m. And Wild River State Park is just an hour north of the Twin Cities area if you want to make that drive. Again, Saturday, April 5th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Cool update. Yeah. Well, and what else is going on? Because it's the heartbeat, Franklin Avenue. I was there for the canoe. They were boiling the canoe.
Oh, the boiling? Cool. How was it?
That was awesome. It was great to see Barry Hand and all the there were schools coming in and out during that time, and I had a chance to. I ran into an adoptee friend of mine, and we had lunch to talk about what's going on with the adoptee powwow and the monthly meetings, and so it was really fun to get on the avenue. And with my work, it's been hard to get going over there, and plus we're watching our grandchildren, so now I'm going to have to. Me and Haley are going to have to bring one of them over on Thursdays. We just don't know which one yet.
I look forward to seeing them. But there is a lot happening. That canoe project is so cool. And one of
Yeah.
our St. Paul-based nonprofits, the Walk On Teepee Center, had this idea for the project, but they didn't have the space yet. So they came over to Minneapolis, to the Minneapolis American Indian Center, and they've been working on digging out this canoe. And then they boiled it, which I didn't even know was something that you did. But I was talking to Mary Lagarde, my whiter sister, who's the director at the Indian Center. And she was talking to the folks working on it. She goes, that canoe looks awfully small. She goes, I don't think I would even fit in it. How are you going to fit these big Ojibwe in that canoe? And that's when they explain, they boil it, which, sort of stretches it out and sizes it right. And so
They boil the Ojibwe?
Yeah, they boil the canoe. They fill it with water and put, as you saw, they put hot stones in it, almost like a sweat, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. And it's funny too, Barry Hand had something to do with this, and, I know, the Ho-Chunk did this and went down the Mississippi River last year, and now I feel like they're throwing down and wanna race each other, so I might be involved with that with my pontoon following along.
I
And
love
Haley,
it.
you're with me on shotgun on that too.
Yeah.
Always in competition.
Yeah.
And another thing that NACDI is doing in association with our food sovereignty work in Four Sisters, we're preparing for Four Sisters market season, right? And one of the things that we do with our vendors and our Ho-Chunk sister, Destiny Jones, who manages market, and she schedules business classes for the entrepreneurs who are who vend at our market, and then others as well are welcome. And so I think today, if I'm not mistaken, she's halfway through these trainings, different business skills and things to increase the capacity and skills in our sort of grassroots level native entrepreneurs. And that is going really well. And like I said, it goes beyond just the market vendors, but it's just another offering from Four Sisters to build the capacity in the community.
One of the things that we talk about is resisting, and you came up with that great saying, especially a few months ago, about we're the resisting experts, and you guys are proven doing that because you're not falling back on what's happening nationally. You're still pushing forward on the things that you've been doing and expanding, and I just got to say, that's the way to do it. Great job.
Right on. Thanks for that. And I think a lot of, Native people or communities of color, this doesn't feel that different to us, right? We've been under attack for decades, centuries, really. And I'm starting to hear this more and more about how people are looking to communities like the indigenous communities of color, to figure out how to get through whatever this national nightmare of ours is. And I think you've heard me say this before. This is a place where Native people can lead, right? We have something to offer the broader culture here, something very tangible. This is how you resist. This is how you survived being targeted by your government. We've done this, right? Tale as old as time in this country. And so I think, I'm an optimist first, but also in crisis, there's always opportunity. And so how are we finding those opportunities?
Years ago, I heard a saying that every dangerous opportunity is dangerous wind and opportunity, and that's the Chinese word that's merged. Those two words are merged in their thing, and I've always thought about that. I didn't say that right, but it's every crisis is a dangerous opportunity.
Right. And so how do we find those opportunities? How do we keep our wits about us? How do we keep looking at the horizon and moving toward what's important to our communities, right? And then we'll figure it out, right? We'll figure it out how to maneuver through these difficult times. And just in my little world, and I'm an optimist, but I'm not Pollyanna. And, there's so much pain coming into the community. I'm part of government as well. There's pain there. We don't really know what's going on. And so I think it's incumbent upon us to be steady, to really embrace our Indigenous values, and to be planning for the next 7 generations, right? So we have the next 2 years, the next 4 years, which are going to be challenging. And what about the next generation, the generation after that, the generation after that? It's, for me, that's a very comforting perspective.
Well, Robert Lilligren, big Peony Gigi for coming on as always. We appreciate you. And, what I was trying to say too is that your mentorship has really brightened up Franklin Avenue. And I really appreciate you coming on and speaking what's happening. It's really a big deal and very comforting for me to hear you and what's going on Franklin Avenue and in the Twin Cities.
You're very kind. Always a pleasure to be here. Great to see you, Haley. Great to see you, Robert. Gigawabaman.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break, Haley.
Stay with us.
Oh.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
I love my Toyotas from Rudy Luther Toyota for one simple reason. I can depend on them. You know they keep you safe, and they're incredibly reliable, fuel-efficient, comfortable, and stylish. The Consumer Reports Best of 2025 edition has 10 Toyotas as best buys in affordability. Toyotas are some of Consumer Reports' highest-rated certified pre-owned vehicles, and Rudy Luther Toyota's service department is the one place I take my Sienna for all of its maintenance needs. Toyotas are fantastic vehicles because they're fantastic vehicles. See for yourself at Rudy Luther Toyota off of 394 in Golden Valley.
Do you remember that invincible feeling you used to have? The boundless energy, the clarity of mind, the effort with which you faced every challenge? What if you could feel that again? If you ever took a biology class and heard the term mitochondria, this is the powerhouse of each of your body's cells, and this is where energy is created to do all the things we do. The demands of modern life, such as stress, aging, and environmental toxins, decrease our mitochondrial function, and we experience things like decreased energy, brain fog, and we generally feel exhausted. At Hypercharge Wellness Centers, our treatments offer gateways to rediscover your lost essence, to feel alive, invigorated, and whole once more. Call or go online to schedule your free introductory session valued at $200 today. This is your opportunity to feel the difference for yourself. No matter where you are in the Twin Cities, there is a convenient location near you. Visit hyperchargeclinic.com now. That's hyperchargeclinic.com. Hypercharge is hope.
Hi, this is Ken Hageland, host of Living Healthy and Aging Well, inviting you to listen to our live call-in talk show airing every Saturday from noon to 1, where we talk about your health and your life and provide insights you need to know to live and age well. Each week, we talk with guests who provide answers to important questions regarding healthcare, elder care, end-of-life care, and self-care for caregivers, and help you and your loved ones plan for the future and enjoy your highest quality of life today. Please join us every Saturday from noon to 1 on AM 950 for Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Join us on Thursday, March 20th for a special live 2-hour Ghost Box radio event starting at the special time of 9 p.m. Travis Walton was abducted by aliens November 5th, 1975, and wrote about his experience in his book, The Walton Experience.
I felt like I was dying, and this is what really fueled the panic when I finally laid eyes on these creatures. They came around the table, and the three of them were coming towards me, and I just grabbed something from behind me and started swinging it at them.
The book was later made into the 1993 film Fire in the Sky. Travis Walton, along with Jennifer Stein, director of the film, Travis Walton the Movie, will join me for this special 2-hour live interview along with questions from callers. Join us for the live Travis Walton Ghostbox Radio 2-hour special, Thursday, March 20th at the special time of 9 p.m.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 51, then Friday, sunshine with a high of 76. The music is still the hottest at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65 and Moore Lake Drive. View their upcoming music schedules and food menus at croonersloungemn.com.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Yes, they do, and they got a new cool logo too. I see. Awesome, Haley.
Yeah.
Haley, what's going on this weekend? I know we've had a lot of guests on in the past. I know Sunday you're going to be doing something, and I think I might stop by Saturday and maybe even Friday because it's free for elders, and I got my elder card,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if you're an elder, come on down. This event is free for you all 3 days. I know if you have kids under 5, I think was the age. I would double check, but those are free too. We're talking about the Minnesota first ever Akito Festival. And this is created by Willard Male Bear Jr., who is the owner of Iktomi Tattoo in Minneapolis, and then also owns that nonprofit Art Shelf, which is a creative community space for Indigenous artists to come use and hang out.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's super cool. But this is kind of Willard's little creative idea that he put together with the help of so many people. I'm so excited. This is a 3-day event at the Intercontinental Hotel in downtown St. Paul. We're coming together in support of Indigenous talent organizations and communities celebrating tattooing, Native arts, and culture.
Yeah, and music, and there's going to be a lot of vendors there too. So, and this is a huge deal, and it takes a lot of guts to do something like this because I'm trying to throw just a birthday party for myself and hope I get 2 people.
I know. That's why I'm saying so many community members are a part of this, and we're so thankful we have so many creative and talented people, especially our tattoo artists that are going to be live tattooing all weekend. There's going to be a couple of tattoo contests at the end of each day, so little friendly competition as well. Are you getting tattooed, Robert?
I wonder how long it would take because I don't know if I brought this up to you. I brought it up to somebody. Oh, I brought it up to somebody else going, oh, I need a applique for my wrist. And somebody told me, you've been talking about that for 3 years. And I went,
I think you were talking to me about that for 3 years.
Yeah. Maybe that was you. And I went, oh, I have. Maybe I should do it or get a silver bracelet instead. Oh, wow.
Yeah. You could have Ho Chunk relative and artist Josiah Thunder, who used to go by Woodland Thunder. I think he has a different name for his shop now, but great metal working artist as well. Josiah, shout out. But yeah, Minnesota Akito Festival, Friday, March 14th, the 15th, and 16th. Do you are you getting tattooed, Robert? Do you have tattoos?
I do have a huge tattoo on my back, but I'm 63 now, so I have not dad bod, like grandpa bod, so I don't ever take my shirt off anymore, so no one sees it.
No, we'll have to get you in that dugout canoe on the river, and then maybe people can see, get someone paddle behind you so they can see your tattoo.
You know what Robert said about that? It's so true. You've seen that how they're for stealth people. I mean, these are little things. I would worry I would need help, one, getting out of the canoe because it's so low, and then the sides. I mean, you're driving down the river with that, and we got boats flying by and making wakes.
Yeah, you
What
are
the
really low to the
Yeah.
water level in that dugout canoe.
Yeah, so I
We'll
don't
have to, like,
know.
double life jacket you up or something. One, like, a diaper for a diaper elder life jacket, and then one around your
Oh, yeah, we
chest.
love doing when we used to have our big boat on St. Croix, we diaper dived all the time, but that's another show. That was probably Wendy and my, old show called Pilot's Progressive Party that we
Yeah.
talk about that kinda stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, I ask because us as natives, and I know Pacific Islander people too,
Mm.
a lot of different indigenous communities kind of mark themselves with tattoos. It's part of our culture. It's part
Mhm.
of storytelling. It's also a part of marking different specific times in your life or different things to memorize things by. I have I think it's over 20. I definitely have lost count just of little tattoos that I've collected through my lifetime. But yeah, I'll be getting my bigger, fancier tattoo this weekend. So
It's
it'll
a
be
lion,
cool.
right? You're gonna get?
Not a lion, it's a wolf. Kind of close, but yeah, and
It's
if
a
you
lot
know
of
me
detail. It's a lot of
yeah,
detail, whatever it is. It's
yeah.
a wolf with a lot of detail. Ouch.
Yeah, but you kind of save those bigger pieces for festivals like this where you get the super fancy big timer tattoo artist. So I'm excited. I want to give a shout out to Shannon Joyce. That's
Mm.
who is tattooing me. And she's also tattooing currently at Iktomi Tattoo in Minneapolis. So if you weren't able to get in a tattoo appointment this weekend at the festival, you can look up Iktomi in Minneapolis too and book an appointment.
Well, and it's such a small community. I went to school with, her dad at Ramsey Junior High before it was called the Hidden River, which is a much better name, in the '70s. So, I've known Brian, who works at the Indian Center since he's a year older than me, so I've known him since, like, 7th grade. So,
Yeah, and that's
small
kind of like
world.
how we say everyone's related because
Right.
I was talking to you about who was doing my tattoo and you recognized the last name and you were like, "Oh, we just had a little tour of the Indian Center by Brian," and that
Right.
was yeah, her dad. So everyone's related. I know Friday's day starts out at the festival is the opening starts at 10 a.m. and then they're going to do an opening ceremony,
Mhm.
a couple performances like drumming. That'll also be going on at 3:30. But yeah, they got stuff going on all throughout the day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mhm.
Couple different poetry classes. There's a creative class with Giwaden.
Mm.
And Giwaden is a very big social media influencer. I believe he's Ojibwe.
Wow.
And Giwaden has a large following on TikTok. So
Wow.
it'll be cool that they will be in the Twin Cities.
Oh, I know. He's been on the show. I know who that is.
Do
Yeah.
you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be in town. So on
You know,
Friday.
he was at the Snow Snake, and again, that's really hard to say. Snow Snake, Chashke, all these things are hard for me to say. I only speak Ho-Chunk, but, very, very poor at Ho-Chunk in English, so I don't know.
Well, yeah. So there's a lot of people that are going to be showing up for this. I know
Mm.
Friday's musical performances include DJ AO, Joey Rainey, Jada Brown. Downtown
Mm.
Jada Brown will be performing at 9 p.m. on Friday. Then you also got Stella Standing Bear at 9:30. And that's just Friday's lineup.
Wow.
I know.
Well, Jada's been a friend and on the show many times over the years, and, a former Gopher who went to the University of Minnesota too, so I gotta give her a big shout out. Great voice, and I know when you were doing that, it was a, music show tattoo kinda thing with those guys like Annie Humphrey and Jada
Oh,
sang too?
Fire in the Village
Yep.
with Annie Humphrey and David Huckfelt. Yeah, Jada performed with them too, and I think they had Thomas X from Red Lake did a little surprise poetry performance too. It
Well,
was really good.
and, again, how small the community is. So Thomas X, his wife is Nancy Bolio's daughter. So
Oh no way! See,
yeah,
I didn't even know that.
it's crazy. I just got a text from Nancy too. We got to get her on and play catch up here. We haven't
Yeah,
talked
I
to her.
hope she's doing good.
She's doing a lot of good things. Her nonprofit's taking off, and a lot of things are happening up there in the Bemidji area. And she's been a hard worker for many years with the pipelines and Standing Rock and Line 3 and all those things. And so it'd be good to catch up with her. Haley, I was joking that we have some land, some family land that we're getting, and you're going to be doing some fun things here in a couple weeks, and I might come along too with the you sent it to me during break what you're going to be doing.
The
That
sugar
sounds
bushing.
really exciting.
Yeah, so this will be kind of my first experience learning about sugar bushing, but I know Wild River State Park is doing a maple syrup day on Saturday, April 5th. And Wild River State Park is just about an hour, maybe a little bit north of the Twin Cities area. So it'd be cool to do a little day trip out there, get yourself in nature. I don't know who the native artist is or the native person that will be out there putting this on. I'll have to ask, but we'll be identifying sugar maple trees. We're going to be tapping trees, tasting some sap. And then we're going to visit the evaporator. So kind of learning about the whole process of sugar bushing. You're going to create a maple leaf craft and get to enjoy some of that syrup at the end of it.
I think we're going to send you next do some ricing. Oh, wow.
Hey, I would
Get
love
those
to.
sticks out there and get that canoe going.
I know.
Get some family rice for us. Oh, wow.
Let's do it. Hey, I know we got Bob Blake on now. Should we hear what Bob has to say, the solar bear with the solar news?
Yeah, let's get him on because we don't want him to escape. Hey, Mr. Vikings fan here. I see you're all excited about all these new signings. Oh, wow.
Hey, Robert. There is so the new solar data fact sheet just came out, and I wanted to tell everybody that there are 10,000 plus solar businesses in the USA. 279,447 people are employed. 279,447 Americans employed. And I just want everybody out there to understand that the solar industry is employing, American people. And this administration is putting all that in jeopardy right now with their actions, Robert. 235 gigawatts have been installed. 5,425,000 solar energy systems have been installed in the United States. Like I said, totaling about 236 gigawatts. $70.4 billion was invested in 2024 alone. 41 states with a solar or battery manufacturing facility. So meaning that is only expanding the jobs and the manufacturing base here in the United States. I mean, these statistics, Roberts, are staggering. Today, nearly
let's talk some more and get in depth in the next segment here. You came on a little early, and we're going to really rock it with the solar bear with the solar news coming up next, and you're going to help us out with a big howl. Howl. I'm practicing. Howl. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're with Bob Blake, the solar bear with the solar news, and Haley keeping it all together. We'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Oh. Have you considered a career in the museum field? The Minnesota Historical Society is now accepting applications for its Native American Museum Fellowship. The 10-week summer program is a mix of workshops, seminars, and hands-on internships at the Minnesota Historical Society. It is open to undergraduate students, recent graduates, and community scholars with an interest in museums and heritage studies. Learn more and apply now at mnhs.org/NAI.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on site from the best coffee growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Hi, this is Governor Walz. Thank you for listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts. How?
Hey, we are here with our friend Bob Blake from Red Lake. Bob Blake with Solar Bear with the Solar News. I'd love to have you continue on what you're talking about. This is really important information that all our listeners should know.
Yeah, Robert. So right now, currently, clean energy is under attack. In Washington, right? Because we have somebody at the head of the at the head who is a former oil executive. Okay. And this is the person, each administration is able to tap who they want to leave their energy department or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Their cabinet, right? And this president has picked an individual that used to be a former oil executive and has got all these ties into the fossil fuel industry. So anything that is renewable energy, anything that is electric vehicles, they are trying to get rid of. But what they weren't prepared for, well, first of all the contracts that this country signed, right, with all these different states and all these different companies, the federal government just can't walk away from that, right? The second thing is the momentum that the previous administration put in place in all of these communities across the country that are investing heavily into renewables, electric vehicles, workforce development programs, manufacturing. I could just go on, right? And so that's what's happening. And this is a direct result, and this is the latest stat sheet that just came up from the Solar Energy Industry Association. And 500 gigawatts of new solar capacity will be installed by 2035. So, Robert, and so what I'm saying is this isn't going anywhere no matter what this administration tries to do. This will be a bump. This will be a bump in the road, right? But it's not going to stop what's happening. There is enough solar energy installed in the U.S. to power 40.7 million homes, 44.7 million households. In 2024, a new solar project was installed every 54 seconds. 14% of new homes will have solar PV system by 2030. 28% of annual growth of the solar market over the past 10 years. And there are 44 gigawatts of utility scale batteries. Nearly 500,000 have been installed in energy systems, and 28% of energy systems installed in 24 have batteries. So this is really huge. And I'm super excited about all this because that means that this is only going to reduce the country's reliance on fossil fuels and limit the amount of greenhouse gases that we emit into the air. Also, everyone, if you would like to get a job in the clean energy field, there is going to be a job fair out in Rogers, Minnesota, at the Haleen Solar Factory. There's a solar manufacturing facility. It's 12716 Main Street, Rogers, Minnesota. Say, hey, this is where they're going to be making solar panels, Robert. The state of Minnesota invested a lot of money into helping this facility up here in the Twin Cities metro area to up. So if they have like over 100 jobs, management to like production, they're going to need security folks. I mean, you name it. They're having a job for March 19th at 10 a.m. 12716 Main Street, Rogers, Minnesota, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And so if you want to get out and you want a really good job with benefits, a good hourly salary, and want to make a difference and fight climate change, this is like the perfect opportunity. So this, and like I just explained to you, all of those statistics are only growing, are only getting bigger. There more and more projects are being developed, and they're going to be needing all these great solar panels that are going to be Minnesota made by Minnesotans and manufactured right here in the Twin Cities metro area.
Bob, when you first came on the show, we were talking about the only place we could get these were from China. This
Yes.
is amazing. This
Yes.
is amazing.
This is amazing. And you know, I think what's really great about this, and let's be honest, because our governor, right, Governor Walz has really been a leader, you know, in this space in advocating for and our lieutenant governor, let's be honest. I mean, like our leadership right here in the state of Minnesota
Right.
has been very vocal about, you know, where we produce our energy at is the most efficient way that we can use it, right? And so they understand this, and they have invested heavily into this industry. And what this does, Robert, and this is really great, because what it does is it expands, right? Because off of this, other jobs, other opportunities will come, other industries, battery manufacturing is coming to the state of Minnesota. I'm hearing like other solar, other renewable energy industries are looking into Minnesota and putting their businesses here. And this only brings a lot of smart people here. It brings more businesses here and really helps our economy here, you know? And
Right.
so
The tax base, it's just phenomenal. And then people living here and spending money, and you know, on and on and on, how the economy works. That's just fabulous information that you're talking about, especially with what's going down in Rogers.
well, yeah, and you know, we are susceptible to. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but 25% energy tariffs, right, from places
Right.
like Canada and other spots that, you know, when we're trying to ship energy from North Dakota, right, that uses coal, right, into our state, where we have a big tourism industry, that, you know, we have all these lakes, and this is really huge for people to want to come and clean lakes. But when you get all of that mercury and everything flowing over the airways and it goes down into our waterways, we are a headwater state. We have a responsibility to take care of the Mississippi that goes down and provides water for the rest of the country. So there is a lot of things, I think, in Minnesota that we realize, but I think as we get more down into delve into what we can do, clean energy is the best way that I think we can support the rest of the country, the rest of the businesses. And of course, we have, you know, national leadership out there that are being very vocal about this and about energy independence. So I think it's a win-win all the way around, Robert. And I think we need to continue to move down this road. And I'm hoping that our politicians, our leaders, see it that way, and not see what's happening coming out of the federal level.
I wanted to bring up with Bob and Robert Lilligren, and now I have Robert Blake, and I'm Robert Pilot, and Haley's new name's Robert Haley.
Yeah, I guess.
And we have to support those two candidates down in Florida nationally, and we could switch the House if we can get those two voted in, and hopefully the tide's changing because of what's happening with our economy right now, and that these ideas that are coming out of Washington from MAGA are not good. So I just wanted to throw that out there too.
I'm donating. Solar Bear is going to donate to those candidates. I am sending out my donation to the Democratic Party to, and then we've got Nick Martin, who was here. You know what I mean? Who's out there locally now, nationally now, for the Democratic Party. So support the Democratic Party and let's get these guys into the House. That's the best response we could do as a country. We could start repairing the wrong that we just did. But that's the Solar Bear with the solar news, Robert.
Right on. Hey, thanks, Bob Blake from Red Lake, and Peenagigi Haley for all you do. And I want to give a big shout out to Robert Lilligren as our guest earlier. If you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the seventh generation.
The city of Minneapolis